As is the case today, many famous people have lived in Hampstead. My next stop was the home of one of the most famous people of the 20th century, Sigmund Freud.
We're here in 20 Maresfield Gardens, and this is the house that Sigmund Freud settled in with his family in 1938 after fleeing as a refugee from the Nazis in Vienna. In this house, he was also able to bring most of his possessions, the famous psychoanalytic couch, his collection of antiquities, his library, his textiles, all here in this North London house. People are often surprised, they don't realise that Sigmund Freud actually finished his life here in London. So the heart of the house for visitors is to see Sigmund Freud's study as it was set up when Sigmund Freud moved in here. It really does take you back to kind of turn of the century Vienna. It's a very atmospheric space, very evocative. A lot of people say they feel as if Sigmund Freud has just walked out of the room. You know, his glasses are still on the desk. You know, over 2,000 objects that he collected, all there in the room. You see not only the famous study, but there are quite a number of other spaces in the house. So, you know, this wonderful hallway. As you come up the stairs from the ground floor up to the first floor, there's a big wide space which gets lovely late afternoon sunlight. Martha Freud, Sigmund's wife, and Minna, sister-in-law, and Anna, his daughter, used to sit in the late afternoon and chat, look out at what was going on in the street, mull over the day. I should also mention Anna Freud, Sigmund Freud's youngest child, who was the only one of his children who actually followed him into psychoanalysis. The museum does actually have a room dedicated to Anna Freud as well, and she's a very important part of this story and the story of this house. The museum has a very active public programme now as well. What we're trying to do is look at life through a psychoanalytic lens and explore Sigmund Freud and Anna Freud's legacy. And an important part of that is the education programme. It's quite innovative, it's very different from ones run in other museums. It's very much about encouraging pupils to kind of think for themselves, to explore some interesting ideas, and perhaps to get over some preconceptions about Freud. There's almost always an exhibition by a very interesting contemporary artist and someone who is responding to the house and the collections in it. At the moment, we have an exhibition by an Indian artist, Bharti Kaur, and her work is woven through the house in with the permanent collections. And included in the collections, we have some interesting artworks ourselves. There is one piece by Sigmund's grandson, Lucian Freud, which he gave to his aunt Anna and which hangs in the dining room. And we also have a portrait of Freud by Salvador Dali, who was one of the other visitors to him in London in 1938. It's a fascinating small museum. It's in a beautiful house. It contains some wonderful collections, including perhaps the most famous piece of furniture in the world, which is the original psychoanalytic couch covered in this beautiful, rich Persian carpet. Learn more about Sigmund Freud, who, whether you agree or disagree with him, was one of the most influential thinkers of the 20th century. Plenty to see and plenty to enjoy, and all in the atmosphere of a very welcoming family house.